Hello, everyone. I'm Gary Bartolina Campbell. It's a pleasure to get a chance to speak with you today about adult education basics. Thanks for joining us. First, I'd like to start by telling you what we mean when we say adult education basics, or AEB. Over the years, we have encountered confusion regarding the definition of AEB. The State Education Department considers ninth grade or below as AEB, where actually the average American reads at a sixth grade level and does math at an eighth grade level. So please be aware that when we talk about AEB needs today, we are referring to employees at a ninth grade education skill level or below. In terms of what we hope to achieve today, we have four main goals. We want to share information about the needs for adult education, basics training. We will do that by sharing some statistic and survey results with you. Next, we will talk about ways the partnership has worked to provide AEB instruction to CSEA represented employees. Then we will talk about what's in it for you as a supervisor. And finally, we will ask your ideas to help us promote enrollment and become AEB champions.
So congratulations, everybody. You're now our champions.
Right. I'd like to start by asking you a question. What percentage of adults in the U.S. have basic or below basic reading and writing skills?
I'd like you to notice that I've opened the polling panel on the right-hand side of the screen. Take your mouse and click on option A, B, C, or D that you feel is the best answer. I'll give you a few more moments. Pick your best answer, A, B, C, or D. Which percentage of adults has basic or below basic reading level and writing skills? I'm going to close that poll, and I'm going to let you see what you all thought.
Thank you for your responses, by the way.
So most people, the majority of people, a third of folks, thought that 33% was the answer.
You'd be surprised to know the answer is D. 43% of U.S. adults have basic or below basic reading and writing skills. As previously mentioned, we consider basic reading skills to be the sixth grade level. If you were surprised by that answer to the previous question, you may also be surprised by these other national statistics. The total number of adults in the U.S. is about 245 million. Out of that 245 million, 12% of adults lack a high school diploma. 15% are at third grade or below for reading, writing, and math. Even adults with high school diplomas, 20% of them have beginning literacy skills.
Wow.
I'd like you to take a moment to read this email message. If you think your employees can understand and act on this message, please raise your hand.
You can find that raise hand button at the bottom of the participants panel at the right side of your screen. So please raise your hand if you think that your employees can understand and won't have a problem acting on what's being requested of them in this email. Okay, we got a few people. So it looks like the majority of people think that employees might have some trouble reading this.
Right. And the text in this email probably doesn't look that complicated, does it? It's right, but it's written at a seventh grade level. That's one grade level above what we consider to be basic reading level. So what does that mean to you and your staff? Assuming your own employee skills are in line with national statistics, 20% of your staff may have trouble understanding this email, and because of that, may make mistakes or take longer to get their job done. So let's say if you have 20 people that you supervise, 4 of them will have trouble reading this email.
And potentially more.
And sometimes more,
yeah.
Right? And here are some alarming statistics. As we mentioned a moment ago, 20% of Americans in the U.S. are at below basic reading level. 55% are below basic math level.
So it looks like math is a lot more difficult for most folks.
It was for me, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's rare. Math intimidates a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
So now in New York State, according to the National Center for Higher Education Management System, 22% of the New York State adult ages 18 to 64 have adult education and training needs. That's almost 1 in every 4 people. In New York State, 1.6 million adults lack high school diploma. Almost 776,000 adults lack college education and speak little or no English. And over 2 million adults lacking college education earn less than a living wage. This is New York State. This is where we're at, people. And these statistics are consistent with the previous slide, what I'm showing you right now, just in the metropolitan region.
So all you downstate folks, Long Island, New York City, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens.
In the metropolitan area, the average of the 5 boroughs is 33%. That's 1 in 3 people. So what do these numbers imply? The AV need of the metropolitan area are high, and we know that. So, for example, as you can see, Queens, 46% of the population in Queens has AEB needs. Now, according to the Department of Civil Service, the New York State employee population in New York City is over 21,000. So if you consider that an average of 33 of the New York City population lacks education basic skills, we can estimate that about 7,000 of our state employees have AEB needs in New York City. And this is just an educated estimate, okay? In the capital region, the average need for AEB skills for these 3 counties is 9%.
So a little lower than New York City, but still pretty high.
It's high when you see that most of our population of employees are in the capital region.
Right.
So 9% of 40,410 employees is a big chunk of people that we need to help. 3,600 people.
That's a lot of people.
Have AEB needs in the capital region.
If it's not us and it's not the person that we sit next to, it's definitely somebody who works with us.
Right. Right, exactly. That's a good way to look at it. And we've been throwing a lot of statistics at you, so let's take a moment to see if you have any questions.
If you do, please click on the raise hand button at the bottom of the participants panel or type right in that chat box and make sure you send it to all participants if you would. So I do see some hands up. Feel free to type in your questions. Wilfredo, let's see who else's hands are up.
Hi, Willie.
Monique. We've got a hand for Lee and Edna. A. Tawari. So, yes, they are eye-opening. That's right, Daisha. It's surprising, but I think when you sit back and actually digest that information, it makes sense to you. When you start thinking about the folks with whom you work or folks that work for you, it kind of makes sense. So for the folks that raised their hand, if you don't, in fact, have a question, please click on that hand again and put that down so we know if we're waiting for questions from individuals. If you're on the phone, we can also unmute your phone line to see if you do have a question. Okay, I'm going to unmute A. Tawari. Do you have a question? Feel free to speak into the phone if you do.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay, we're going to mute you back up again. Let's see. All right, looks like the hands are all down, so we can go on.
Well, thank you, everybody, for answering that. I'd like you to think for a moment about the job titles that you think would need adult basic education.
So we are going to open up a poll for you, and we're just wondering which of these employees do you think would have AEB needs? And feel free to click any of those. You can click 1 or 5, whatever you think. So any A to G that you agree with might need some AEB programming.
You can pick as many as you want.
Yep. A through G that you feel are correct. We see a lot of people are answering. We have about 15 more people that need to lock in their answers, and make sure you submit them. And then once everybody's finished, I'll close it out and share it so you can see what everybody thinks. I always find this question fascinating. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like pretty much across the board, everybody thinks somebody in one of these.
Right, and that's not surprising. We have had students that are in all of these job titles, plus many more that we couldn't list. The point is, people with AEB needs come from all over, and their needs may not be obvious.
And you know what I always find fascinating? So some of these job titles require you to have a degree.
Right.
Or at least a high school diploma. And so one does not mean
that you have mastered a certain skill.
Right. Gary, you've told me before you have your master's degree and you could still benefit from some of these
math.
programs.
Definitely math.
Right. And I don't think that's something that everybody thinks about. I think people figure if you have a college degree or an advanced degree that you're not eligible or not even benefit from these programs, but you will.
And just to continue on with some more numbers for you, but numbers are important for this program because we're going to show you everything from pre-testing to post-testing things. So in 2017, we sent a survey to over 3,000 supervisors of CSEA-represented employees in New York City and the Capital District of students that had taken our courses. So these are our students left the course, and then we sent a survey to the supervisor. And many of you probably participated in this survey, so I want to thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And the reason why we conducted this survey was to get a specific feedback to compare to the estimates we just discussed. You know, we had national estimates, we have state estimates, we have civil service estimates, but we wanted to see if we were in the right track with this program. And in the metropolitan area, supervisors identified the numbers of employees that could benefit from AEB courses by topic area. So I'm going to give you a minute to review these numbers on the screen.
Sure, you got some more statistics for you.
Right. And as you can see, these add to more than 7,000. Remember, in the previous estimate, over 7,000 employees in the metropolitan region could potentially have AEB needs. So our supervisors were not that far off, were they? And in the capital region, supervisors identified the number of employees that could benefit by topic area also. So I'm going to give you another moment to review the numbers on the screen. And again, remember that in the previous estimate, over 3,600 employees in the capital region could potentially have AEB needs. So bottom line is that the data seems to support that thousands of state employees in the metropolitan and capital region could benefit from AEB instruction. Any questions so far?
If you do have a question, feel free to raise your virtual hand. What is HSE? I think it's high school equivalency.
Oh,
so HSE stands for high school equivalency. Those are the folks that would benefit from that type of a program.
Yes.
Good question. Any other questions, folks? I want to make sure you understand all these statistics before we move on because they make a big difference. Okay, looks like we can get moving.
Thank you so much. At this point, I'd like to ask you another question about your own staff. Which of these areas do you feel that your employees may have a need for AEB classes?
So the polling panel is now open on the right-hand side of your screen again. Take your mouse and click on it, and click as many options that apply, any A through G. Okay. 20 seconds. Lock in those answers. Like you're on Jeopardy. Do, 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 do. All right, I'm going to show you guys what everybody thought. So you'll see that a lot of people felt reading and writing was important and math. Not as many with the high school equivalency, and only one person thought nobody could benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people thought people could benefit from all of them.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate hearing your responses, and I'm happy to say that we can help your staff with these needs. These are, again, the same courses that you saw listed for the fall. These are the courses we offer. It varies from fall to spring, depending on the population. But the partnership also offers A/B classroom instruction in various topics that we have mentioned before. But in the regional, we put 2 or 3 courses per regional flyer, which we're going to talk about later. But these courses can be requested by your site. They run for 13 weeks, 1 day per week. A couple of weeks before the class starts, we schedule a full-day workshop that is called Learning for a Lifetime. During this workshop, we conduct a skill assessment called TABE, Test for Adult Basic Ed. This assessment consists of reading, writing, and math. We also have a small module where we assess their learning styles. And this part is usually fun and dynamic, but at the same time very enlightening. Once they find out if they are an auditorial, visual, kinesthetic, or if the type of learner that needs to read or write it down, they realize why they do things a certain way, and also why they have difficulty learning things sometimes.
That must really help them at the office.
It does also because, again, once they know their own strengths, they can ask their supervisors, can you write it down for me? Can you tell me again or show me a visual?
Yeah.
With instructions. You know?
I've seen people, kind of the light bulb go on for them when they go through these, and most people's comments are, that makes sense. That's why emails are easier for me than when somebody calls. And so it's kind of like a personal enlightenment.
No, it is. It is because you realize who you are as a learner.
Exactly.
You know? And in addition, during the workshop, we have a module which is balancing work, life, learning, and everything else that gets thrown at us as adults that we are, child care issues and all that stuff.
So we do have a question. Mm-hmm. If my staff person already did a session last fall, would she need to attend the full day assessment again?
Usually we would have said no, okay, because we would carry the grades. But we just bought something fancy and snazzy. It's a Scantron equipment that now is part of the tape, but it gives us a prescription. And the prescription shows us where their weaknesses are, depending on the test result. And it's also what skills they have already mastered. So we don't have to repeat a certain lesson with that particular person because they already have a master in that area. And this is new to us. We just tried it out with the post-testing this semester, but we're still getting the kinks out of it. So just for this semester, we are going to recall everybody to take the assessment in August. And then after that, they won't need to come, if they continue in the program, they won't need to do it again because we would have the pre, the post, and then that would be, the post would be used as a pre next semester.
So short-term, yes, long-term, no.
Right.
Okay.
Just because it's something different this semester, that's all. So I mentioned before, we had that goal, we set up goals at the beginning, why are they here, why they want to learn. As you know, adults need to know why they're showing up and what can we do to help them. And we do all that on that introduction.
I also think it acts as a way to get them acclimated and comfortable in the room. A lot of these adults haven't been in a classroom setting in many, many years, and this is their first time back into that type of a world. And I think this is a nice way to ease them back into it so that they don't clam up and they don't get nervous.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. So besides our regional program, we also have our regular programs where we offer these courses on request at your work site. So if you wanted to have your own class set up because you have 10, 12 people that need it and you'd rather have it at your own meeting space, we can definitely do that for you. And we came up with a very fancy application called a worksite request. Very simple. and it's a 2-pager, and it's a labor management commitment, and we need them signed and returned to us, and we usually need like 6 weeks in order to set up a class once the application gets received. Okay? So after all the national and New York State statistics and the supervisors' responses to our survey, we had to take a hard look at the AEB training that we conducted during this past contract period. And from 2011 to 2016, we ran a total of 58 classes, serving 514 employees. And I was very proud of that number until Matt Trotter, our statistics person, showed me that we're really just serving 100 employees per year through AEB classroom training. But we're only, as you can see, we're only scratching the surface. With your help, we can do much more. Again, think about the need for AEB and the low numbers of employees we have been able to reach so far.
So we do have another question. Are the courses tailored for preparing for state exams?
No. Because of the civil service law, we're not supposed to give advantage to our employees over other public. I should want to say public service is us, right? Over the public. So we really do not tailor these courses to that. But think about it this way. If I'm teaching you reading comprehension and the skills you need, and if I'm teaching you the writing and the math skills, you really are getting prepared for any test. It doesn't matter if it's civil service or if it's the test of life, it's the CUNY exam if you're in the city. It prepares you for entry exams here with the SUNY system, so you don't have to take remedial courses and pay for a remedial course that you're not getting a credit for.
So it's not, we don't prep for the test, but the skills they learn will assist them in those exams.
Definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
Good question, Wilfredo.
So I'd like to stop for a moment and ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a positive training or learning experience in your life? An experience where what you learned was real benefit for you?
So to select yes or to tell us that you have had a positive learning experience, please click on the green check mark at the bottom of the participants panel. If you have not had any positive learning or training experience, please click the red X, which would show us that you have not. All right, we've got a unanimous so far yes. Great. All right, thank you, guys. Thank you.
I see that's great. That's so many positive training experience. Can you tell me a little bit more in the chat box? What would you know? What made it special? What was so positive about this experience?
So please just put in the chat box something that you learned or the experience that you had in that session or that training that made it so positive. And while you're doing that, I will answer a question that somebody here had about that. So are we asking about a specific example or what in general makes something a positive?
What made it positive for them, that classroom, in the classroom?
So I know for me, when instructors are able to differentiate and to teach me the way that I learn as opposed to the way my neighbor learns, I think that's a lot better. And a lot of our instructors do that. They have the ability, because we're doing the pre-testing, to really teach to you as opposed to the group.
Right. It was, for me, I can use math because, again, that's my least favorite subject. For math, for me, once my teacher explained it to me in money, because I used to say, why do I have to take this? Why do I have to take percentage? In high school, I hated percentage. Then they show me sales, right? Discounts when I'm buying clothes, when I'm buying shoes, and related to that, It makes sense.
All right, so we have some things that made people feel good. Monique said it made me feel better about myself to understand something that used to be a stumbling block. That's true, so you had your aha moment. Let's see, Liza was allowed to ask questions. That's huge, and I think a lot of people take advantage of that, but when you're not afforded that opportunity, it's really, really frustrating. Let's see. Real life examples. Lee agrees with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you need to make that real. Some folks felt that it was great to take a prep class because they saw an actual result. That's true. Fun, memorable presentations. That is huge, Dina. That's something that we work really hard on in our curriculum to make sure happens. And then you were interested in the topic.
And again, all these answers were perfect, and this is what we hope to achieve every time we run a class. One of the things we are very proud of is our instructors. Our instructors are top of the line. The evaluations come back and excellent across the board. The participants love them, write to them, keep in touch with them. Really also having a multi-level students in the classroom, they help each other, they become a community. It works out really well, and the materials we use is adult-based, which is so important. Okay, we're teaching to, again, below 9th grade level, but we're not using high school curricula, and we're not using a high school books or textbooks. We're using our own developed curricula in-house, which is adult-based, and we use adult information, adult movies. Sometimes we tell them, you know, the topics are sometimes get pretty heated, but again, it's everyday life. It's what we deal with as human beings and as adults.
And we try to tailor the curriculum to be beneficial at work. So if we ask them to have a writing assignment, unless it's our specific creative writing course, that writing assignment is something that they might write at work. So an evaluation, an email to somebody, you know, something like that, that's beneficial immediately.
Yeah. Thank you so much once again. Our AB courses and the benefits to it. I mentioned we target low intermediate to high adult secondary education learner. That's from 4th grade to 12th grade. We get a lot of people that reach 12th grade and they're like, I want to take it one more time. But really, it's not beneficial at that point. And it's not that we kick them out, but we gently let them move on and use the tuition benefits and go to college or any courses that they want to take. It doesn't have to be college-based, but outside of this program. We have our Skill for Success program. They can tap into our 1-day, 2-day courses. And then they're really ready to move on at that point. We find that the AB courses help employees meet their job requirements, improve their work performance, and provide helpful life skills. Participants develop such a self-esteem and high motivation. I'm telling you, we see it. We see it happening as of week 3. We see the difference already.
So they accomplish in those 4 days what they would normally accomplish in 5.
The
employees.
The course during once they're in it. Yeah, no, definitely. So we're happy to share some of the positive outcomes of our AB program, and this is again it was part of the supervisor report. When we surveyed them, 66% saw an improvement in their employees' work performance. 69% saw an improvement in their employees' self-confidence, and 70% saw an improvement in their employee morale. And one, it's very difficult to measure that, but it's obvious, as you know. You can tell when a person is motivated and when a person is self-confident. You can see the difference. And we found that after we spoke with AEB students and the supervisors, was that after the classes, they gained so much self-confidence, they did so much more at work. And it may not be immediate, again, but it's important. And there's some powerful research about the value of self-confidence in the workplace. It goes as far back as 1986. Researchers found that self-confidence is one of the most influential motivators in people's everyday lives. They also found that when people feel confident, they're more likely to set higher work goals for themselves, and that their commitment to achieving those goals are stronger. Confidence can help with a person's teamwork skills too, you know. Team confidence, researchers have found, is rooted in the personal self-confidence. Team confidence is a phrase that is used to describe the goals the team set, the amount of effort people put into the team, and their ability to stick to the course if the team fails to produce the results they want. So aside from the academic skills, I'm telling you that your employees gain when they take AB classes, they will come back to your workplace more energized, engaged, and with personal goals for success at work. And that's one of the things that we keep on hearing from supervisors, that, you know, yes, people are out 1 day a week for 13 days, but they are accomplishing the same thing in 4 days that they used to do in 5 days.
Yep.
So, and going back to what you were saying.
And it's contagious.
Yes.
We're hearing a lot of supervisors say, you know what, the person that used to be frustrated and a little standoffish because they were having difficulty and didn't share it with anyone, come back and they have this self-confidence and this new ability that really spills out and makes the team work better together.
Right. And because they're coming out of this group environment where they're helping each other, they go back to work and help other employees get better at it, too.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things that we keep on hearing. That's why I love this program. And I know I'm biased, but I love this program because it's a life-changing.
So we do have a hand up. Mary, I'm not sure if you have a question, but if you do, please let us know right in that chat box. Mary, I don't want to skip you. Okay, well, Mary, you know what? If you do have a question, you want to type it in that chat box, just type it in, and we'll let you know as soon as we receive it. All right, we can move on.
Okay, so I'd like to tell you a bit about one of our AEB students, and he's going to be part of a movie series. We're doing a couple of clips, video clips of our success stories that we want to put on our website. And Steve, I personally picked Steve because he was in one of the reading classes that I taught during our in-between contract period. I had to teach 2 of the classes, and Steve impressed me because from day one, all he wanted was to learn, and practice. And he was fantastic. And he works for the Department of Taxation and Finance. And it's a great example of how self-confidence is linked to job performance. After completing the AEB program, Stephen reported improved self-confidence and communication. He's now a better speaking, writing, and understanding English, which improves his ability to handle calls. Now he can resolve them more quickly and with better results. In addition, Stephen continues to take courses outside of working hours in a field related to his current position, which is accounting. This is where you want your employees to be, in a state of constant growth, so they can better meet your agency needs. And Steve is a father, a husband. He works full-time, goes to school. I mean, he's doing it all, and I'm telling you, I see the difference.
All right, so we do have a question from Laura. Thank you for raising your hand, Laura. Laura asks, the tax department offers effective writing and clear language classes, but based on the statistic, those classes are not accessible to the 43% who read only at a basic level. Have you reached out to our TRB, I would assume that's the tax folks, with these stats and requested an introductory level of writing training?
Yes, we have a lot of your tax department employees do participate in our program. Like now this fall, if I can tell you already, I probably have like 11 applications in from the state to the tax department.
So yes, Laura, the answer to your question is yes. We have reached out to the Training Resource Bureau, and we are working with them to fill those needs.
Yes.
But very good question.
Right, and right now I know we're going to do a focus on pronunciation class as part of our Skill for Success catalog, and that was requested by the tax department to be run in Schenectady because you have your new office there in Rotterdam. So they're making it easier for the employees to go to the class.
So that's the clear language need, Laura? So good question. Mm-hmm. Good thought.
Thank you so much. So an average of 82% of the employees in our program increase at least one grade level. And this is, again, is measured by a pre and a post test that we do. And that's only in a 13-day period. Some students have increased as much as 4 or 5 grade level in one semester of AEB class. So some people just need a quick refresher, shake their brain a little bit, and they jump back and get their skills back in normal. What normally takes one academic year, we have accomplished. I shouldn't say we have accomplished in 13 days, and that is amazing.
So when we talk about grade level, we're talking like 9th grade reading level up to 10th grade reading level, right, or 4th grade up to 7th grade.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and sometimes we have employees that come below that, 6th and 7th grade. So do you remember this email? With an average of 82% of employees increase at least one grade level. So you think they'll have an easier time reading this email after one of our courses? Would they be able to understand and act on it? So before we move on, does anyone have any questions?
If you do have any questions, please click on the raised hand button at the bottom of the participants panel, or type it right in the chat box like we've been doing. I'm not seeing any raised hands. Liza has a comment. All right, Liza.
We hear that a lot, Liza. And it's not true. A lot of people we have in our class are native from this country. Our ESOL students, I can tell you, they come in as ESOL, English for Speakers of Other Language, and then they move on to our classes. So we do have them in class also. But most of when they first apply, a lot of our students are American and born and raised and went through high school sometimes. Mm-hmm. And they still need these classes. And like I said, if you look at the statistics, the average American is reading at a 6th grade level. This is nationwide. And most of us avoid reading the New York Times. And let me tell you, the New York Times is written at an 8th grade level. And a lot of people are shocked to hear that.
Most people think it's really complicated.
Yes.
Daisha has a question. You mentioned a class on work, life, and learning. Is that on your website?
That's part of our Learning for a Lifetime workshop. And it's a module during that day. In other words, remember I said we assess them in the morning, and then we looked at their learning styles, and then we do that work and life balance. But, something, if you are interested, we might look into developing something like that, maybe a one-day course on how to balance all that.
We do have a time management getting organized course, so that might fill that need. That's one of our webinars.
Right. Okay.
All right, good questions, guys. Thank you.
So as I mentioned at the beginning, we talked about the need for AEB and about how the partnership has tried to help you. To be successful, we need your support to help employees access these valuable programs. We know that release time can be a challenge, but the outcome of the program will ultimately improve employees' performance in a way that supports your ability to accomplish your agency mission. Remember, in 13 days, employees are increasing their reading, writing, or math skills by at least one grade level. In a traditional school setting, that normally takes 10 months. And we're currently accepting applications for 3 different regions. This is Region 1, which is our CSCH Long Island region is considered Region 1. And there we're offering at the COMAC office a high school equivalency prep class. And that's going to be, we prepare them, and then we send them to take the new task exam, okay, for that. Then we have Region 2. Our metropolitan Region 2 is considered New York City, all 5 boroughs, and sometimes we get people from Long Island coming in. And this one is a little different from our other ones because this one is through a grant that we received from the Consortium for Workers Ed. And because of this grant, in New York City, we are able to accept family members and friends. And that makes it a little different, except is there one of these questions I have is like I always say, I don't want no husband or wife in the same classroom. That always causes problems. And you know what I mean by that. Now, the top class, Enhance Your Skills, Reading, Writing, and Math, that class is going to be offered in Brooklyn at the Kingsborough. And that's because OMH requested us to move it there because they think they might have up to 10 people to fill that class. So we were able to accommodate that and move it there. The other two classes are at the Consortium for Workers at 83 Main Lane, which, again, is our usual site. We love it. We have a room there, and the students like it there. And it's very easy to reach. It's the Fulton Station, so all your trains stop there.
And Laura was wondering if there's a fee associated with any of these courses.
No, this is, again, free. This is your negotiated funds through CSCA. So,
and we have a question from Donna. Donna, I can unmute you if you'd like, or I can wait for your chat. Okay, Donna, I've unmuted you. If you want to ask us verbally, you can feel free to do that, or you can type it in the chat box.
Hello?
Hi, Donna.
Hi,
you
how
have
are
a question?
I did. I put it in the chat. Is there a way for agencies, because I'm an agency administrator, for us to find out who's enrolled in the programs? So if there's any way we can give them additional support on this end?
You mean for, like, how many people from your agency were enrolled in the program?
Correct.
We can definitely let you know that. Like who in the past had been in our classes?
Who in the past, or, because we send these announcements out, who is actually taking advantage of it?
Okay.
Is there an interest? Are our employees taking advantage of it?
Donna, what agency are you with?
I'm with Department of State.
Okay.
We can definitely look for you. As I can watch the applications as they come in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If you send me like a quick email, I can definitely keep that. But I have to tell you, one thing we do have in place is that once the participants are in class, they have to sign in for attendance because that's their workstation for the day. So anytime any participant is out, we do contact their supervisor and let them know this person was out on this day. Make sure that they're aware if they haven't requested a time off that they were out from our class also.
But that makes sense, Donna. It's a good question for continuity purposes to see who's taking it and what they might need.
Yes.
Yeah, good question.
Right. Bye.
And then there's a question about having to charge time. No, this will be under their education benefit, so it will be like training time if they were taking any other regular courses. So we are looking for release time for our people that attend these classes.
The only time that charging time may be an issue is if somebody works a compressed work week and they're normally working 8 or 9 hours that day, but they're attending class for that 7.5 hours, they would have to charge that difference. But that's rare, and it really is agency specific.
Right. So sometimes people decide that they're giving them travel time.
Yep. But good questions, everybody.
Thank you. And now, in Region 4, docs were gracious enough to allow us all 3 classes this time at their facility. So we have 3 classes going on at the Docs Training Academy on New Scotland Road. And, again, we hope to fill these classes. We need your help for that. And we're looking for your feedback.
So that location is great. We've heard from employees because they like it. There's free parking.
Yes.
Right outside. It's centrally located to the Albany area, and it's on the bus line.
Yes. Yes. All three. Okay. So one of my things is I always call, what is an AEB champion? And people always ask me that. And my answer is whoever shows up to any of my meetings automatically become an AEB champion. So we're ordaining you right now.
Congratulations.
As AEB champions. Thank you. So what else can we do? Like, in a sense, we're depending on you for this AEB program to be successful, to spread the word, to encourage eligible employees to attend classes and share their experiences with others. So we are hoping for you to become a champion and help you communicate this. Now, this morning, and I apologize that it was the attachments went out so late, we did send you the adult basic brochure and speaking points, and that's to help you recruit people, and we're hoping that helps.
Because we often get the question, well, I have an employee or employees that I think would really benefit from this program, but how do I approach them? How do I nicely say to them, you need some help in this area for your employment? And so one of the handouts that you were emailed today kind of goes over that and gives you some ideas of some subtleties and ways that you can talk to your employees about this.
Right. And then aside from our AEB program, the partnership offers other services such as tuition benefits, skill, and we have our advisors. We say they're the best. And again, you can request a worksite request, any course that you can think of, we can bring it to you. So if there's anything else that we can do to help, please do not hesitate to let us know. Okay? And finally, remember, productivity does not usually decrease when employees are released for AEB classes. Often employees do additional work to make up the difference in their absence. And if you want highly motivated, educated, and empowered employees, AEB is the program for you. So some of the supervisors we've spoken to in the past have had concerns about giving their employees the release time needed to attend AEB classes. And it sounded to me by the previous answers, there's a few of you with that same concern. So is that a concern that you share?
I'd like you to notice I've opened the polling panel on the right-hand side of the screen. Take your mouse and click on option A, B, or C that you feel is your best answer. Do you now understand the value of granting release time for your employees to attend this program? Yes, no, need more time to figure it out, or need ideas from other supervisors? Okay, looks like everybody has, oh, we're waiting for one person. Okay, let's give it one more second, let's see. All right, let's see what people thought. Drum roll, please. All right. An overwhelming yes. That's great. That was the point of this presentation. You guys could see the benefits and hopefully get some more people engaged.
Yes, thank you for your answers. We really, really appreciate it. And if you are looking for more ideas, there are supervisors in your area that regularly send their employees to our AEB classes. You can email me after the presentation, and I will connect you with them so you can share ideas back and forth on how to work the release time issues or any other issues that you might be confronted with. Thank you for joining us today and for your participation. I really appreciate it. We had a few minutes before we close to answer any questions you might have and hear any additional thoughts and ideas.
Okay, so we have two thoughts. Monique is wondering when the ESL classes will be offered again, that they're not on those two brochures that we've included in this.
Yes. Monique, did you email me today about that? Because I just answered that question today. We tried to offer it last semester, and it was under-enrolled. And I should have put it in the itinerary again for this semester, but we didn't. But I will put it in the spring. I can tell you that.
Okay, so we have some more questions. Release time. Oh, Lee feels that release time for employees is an investment in them and the unit. Yes. Amen, Lee.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
And that's what I try to communicate to everybody. It is an investment, but let me tell you, it's worth it.
It pays back tenfold.
It pays back. And a lot of my students, I keep on hearing from them, they get promoted all the time. They moved on. They're doing well. Really, this is a life-changing program.
And it's work-changing, too.
Yes. Work, everything together.
Gwendolyn wants to know if Reading Comp can be offered in Region 4.
We just offered it this past semester. Gwendolyn, if you can get me 9 more people, I can put it on for you. I could bring it to your work site if it's something that you feel that your students need it.
And if you have other agencies that are nearby, you can kind of combine and do a work site request together.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be just your job site or your agency. If there's other agencies that you want to combine and guarantee us some folks, then we can make that happen as well.
We can. And actually, Marcela, hello, hi Marcela. Her question: if a person already took the course, yes, they can repeat it, and that's in our application. Because we have multi-level students in every classroom, that doesn't mean that they all reach the 12.9 grade level that we need them to exit with. So they can repeat the same course over and over until they master the skills they need to master.
So many times management is hesitant, I'm hearing. That is not the first time we've heard that. And we're hoping that this presentation has helped some folks in management, but also all of you, to realize the benefits. And if management is hesitant, perhaps you can help kind of persuade them with some of the information that they heard today.
Yes, yes. The Mid-Hudson White Plain area, we will be expanding our program, and Region 3 is one of our target area, to let you know that.
So the answer is not right this second, but they will.
That we will.
Yeah.
But again, and not to sound like a broken record here, a worksite request, if you think you and a couple of other agencies might have a need, I can bring it to you. Okay?
Absolutely.
And I have worked with Dutchess County Community College there in the past for the English for Speakers of Other Language. I had a class there that was run for us. Okay? Just to let you know.
So Liza wants to know, how can she convince managers that the classes are an advantage to the department?
We sent you our new fancy brochure, Liza. Our 4-page brochure, if you can present that, it has some of the statistics, and it has the results of our program in it. And again, you can even use the same speaking points you're going to use to recruit students to get managers on board. And if not, have them call me. I'll beat them.
We'll talk to them. We will talk to them. And you know what? All joking aside, sometimes that's what it needs.
Right, right.
Sometimes that's what has to happen, and that's totally fine.
Yes.
It is a large time commitment, and we understand that, but the benefits are so huge that once people are able to look at that, they really do buy in.
Right. And then, again, you see my number there, my email. Always feel free to call me, leave me a message, and I will call you back. And tell me who you want me to talk to, and I'll talk to them.
Yep. All right. Any other questions today? If you'd like me to unmute your phone, if you'd rather just ask it verbally, that's totally fine. Just you can even electronically raise your hand. I see Donna. I'm going to unmute you now. Do you have a question, Donna?
No, that must have been from before.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Donna.
I'm going to mute you back.
Hi.
Anybody else who has a raised hand? Want me to unmute your phone? Okay, we've got Marcella. Marcella, I've unmuted you. Did you want to ask a question?
I think she might have exited because she said hi before.
All right, I don't see any other raised hands.
Did you say great? Thank you.
She
said thank you and she signed off.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay. Oh, no worries, Marcella. That's fine. Very common. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone else has any questions or comments. We're going to hang out here for a minute or two more, so feel free to kind of sign off and close up and think about it and go share this information with somebody today.
Thank you, everybody.
We really appreciate it. Yes, that is me speaking. And my email address, we will type it. I'll type it right in the chat box now for folks. All right, my email address is now in the chat box to everybody, so you will see that. Okay? And feel free to email me as well.
Yes. And Melanie does the Skill for Success catalog, so she has all the 1-day, 2-day, 4-day classes.
1 hour.
1 hour. And those are coming out at the end of August, right? The catalog.
No, mid-July.
Mid-July. Wow.
Yeah, we're working on it right now.
Okay.
We've got a really exciting fall coming up, so we'd love your participation in all of those courses as well. Thank you all for being here today. We know it was an hour out of your day, and we appreciate it. Doesn't seem like anybody else has got anything going on. So we're going to sign off now. Feel free to reach out to Gary or myself if you have questions, concerns, comments, follow-up, anything else you need. Thanks again for being here, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.